struggling to a win's not for everybody. And honestly, if you asked me a little while ago, I would have said I didn't think we were up to the challenge either. But hey, that's a dub today, boys. We figured it out in a tough match against Las Palmas, who performed okay. You know, I think they showed up well. I think they made it very difficult for us to create. I don't think we looked great for a while, but we came out with a W, and we're going to get into it today because there are some things to get into here as well. First off, a dub is a dub, but there were some controversial calls. Maybe, I'm sure Real Madrid will edit some photos that will make it look like things didn't happen, like that handball wasn't offside, so it didn't matter at all, and that it might not have been a handball because it was kind of like half above his shirt, half below his shirt. Whatever, I think the ref overall did fine. Like, yes, Barca were getting like kind of rattled up and pushed around. He didn't really show yellow cards enough, but he wasn't exactly calling it any differently for the other team. He was letting McBurney also get bullied by Cubarsí and Eric Garcia when there was time and being pushed around as well. So if he's going both ways with the no calls and letting it play out, it's okay. It's not ideal for us because it hurts our play more than it hurts their play, but it is what it is. It's even at the very least, and we figured it out, so I'm not going to hold it against him as much as I probably would have if we lost. But today, even if we did lose, it wasn't the referee's fault, or drew, it wouldn't have been the referee's fault, in my opinion. Now, I think Hansi Flick made some good changes today. It was difficult playing. The first half was tough, and I'm going to get into the ratings right now and walk through the game a little bit as I do. Szczesny, I thought he was great. Again, it's been like several games in a row where I thought he was really good. He actually came out of the box pretty safely today as well a couple of times, and was decent on the ball, made some good passes, made the saves when he needed to, even if some of them were going wide or something. And, you know, he's a little ankle happy when he likes to go down, and he was able to do a good job of not fouling anybody in the box there. And great keeper, obviously. I'm not sure if Ter Stegen takes his place, but hey, let me know what you think. 8.5, I think, is fair. And we got the back line. Koundé, Eric Garcia, Cubarsí, and Balde, who I think all performed pretty well. I think Koundé was really good defensively, as well as Eric Garcia and Cubarsí, and Koundé also was bombing forward a little bit. Was he very effective? Not really, but hey, I think he was good defensively, and that's really what we needed from him today, as well as being fine in possession. I think a 7.5 is fair, again, for a fine performance from someone who needed to do a lot defensively. For Eric Garcia, I know you guys don't like him. I see a lot of comments whenever I pseudo-praise him that he's not great, but honestly, guys, I think he was fine. I really do think he was fine today. It was weird that Araujo didn't play. That was an interesting choice from Hansi Flick, but Eric Garcia looked fine today, right? He intervened when he needed to, didn't concede that pen technically, and was good enough, I'd say. Very much so good enough. Now, is it phenomenal? No, but I think it's worthy of a 7. And then Cubarsí, I think, is right up there as one of my man of the match. He's in the man of the match conversation at the very least. I'm going to give him a 9 because I think he did everything he needed to defensively against McBurney, who is a bigger striker, tends to be a little chaotic at times, and Sandro obviously is a very difficult player to play against, but Cubarsí was up to the challenge today and made some incredible passes while he was at it. Really helped Balde move into space a lot and did very well. And then Balde, very good. I think he was good. Again, he's been better. Some of his passes into the box weren't connected to. I don't know if that's so much Lewandowski not making that run to the back post or to the front post, or Balde not checking it up like he should be. There needs to be some more communication there. I'd love some more box crashing than we saw today, but the crosses did begin to connect a little bit, and we became a little bit more threatening on the left side when the game moved forward, and when Dani Olmo came in, but we'll get to that in a second. I think Balde easily deserves a 7 as well. Now, moving forward, Pedri, I think he was great today. He ran out of gas a little bit, but he was so important on the ball. Looked like the lifeline of this team when a lot of the guys didn't really look up to the challenge. It was an off game for Lamine, especially in the first half. Lewandowski was getting thrown around as he always does and wasn't really handling it all that well. The connection between Fermin and Lewandowski, between Fermin and Pedri even wasn't there. And then Balde was really alone on the left side with Rafinha trying to occupy the central areas. And Pedri had to do it all. Pedri was great. 8.5, easy performance. Did run out of gas at the end, but I think Hansi Flick did a good job bringing in Frankie for him instead of bringing him in for Casado there, and helped manage the energy of the team by doing that. And then Casado I thought was good today again. He made a couple tackles. I think he got lucky on a couple calls that went his way, but was pretty solid, turned into space well, and was defensively aggressive enough to help us create in the final third, where we were kind of having trouble to create in the final third. And I thought he was good today. He deserves minutes. He deserves a lot of attention and respect for what he has done for us in very big matches so far this season. And he looks like an important tool moving forward as well. So I think an 8, 7.5, 8 is probably fair for him, but I cannot say the same for Fermin Lopez, man. I don't know if it was necessarily him or the tactics they went into the first half with, but he just it wasn't there. He was covering for Pedri a lot. Pedri was bombing up the left side a lot and looked like a left winger at times. So he was providing the width, while Firmino was kind of covering for him and playing deeper than Pedri was at times. Not really filling that central channel, not moving very far forward. And then when he was like trying to occupy the space that was meant for Lewandowski. It was just a little bit off, and the team improved a lot when Dani Olmo came on. That's a testament more to how good Dani Olmo is right now than it is to how maybe less of a fit Firmino is, but it is something that needs to be mentioned. And with Pablo Torre, you could argue maybe rotting on the bench here, not getting any minutes. That is a conversation we need to have. But it was another moment where Firmino had to get taken off 45 minutes into the game to change something up because it wasn't working. Now, if that keeps happening over and over again, it becomes more of a question of him than a question of maybe the setup of the team. So we'll see how that develops throughout the season. I think he is still an important player. Might just be a substitute, though, because that's where we've seen him impact the most. If that's where it is, that's where it is today. I can't really give him much better than a 5.5. I don't really think he did much impactful today. And then moving forward, the rest of the front line, I think it was a similar story in that first half. It just was not clicking. I think Lamine was close. It was off. He was off his game. It definitely wasn't his best performance by far. Lewandowski, again, getting thrown around, not really filling the channels that well, and having a hard time just connecting with everybody. They were making the area very tight for everybody. There wasn't a ton of space to exploit, and that was making it very difficult, especially for a less mobile, less maybe ball excelling player like Lewandowski. So Lewandowski, I'll probably give him about a 6. Not his best performance today. Had a few chances and got to the box a few times very early in the game that you could probably ask more from him, but overall wasn't his best work. And then Rafinha, I'm going to get to first before I do rate Lamine completely. Rafinha was good today. I think he was overall pretty solid, pressed really well, defended really well, and moved into space well, and got some threatening chances off and put a couple crosses in as well, right when he swapped over for Lamine. Did decently. I think a 7 is fair for him as well. But Lamine, in a game where he was off of it, it wasn't his best game by any stretch of the imagination, turned it up in the second half when Dani Olmo came on, found more space, helped exploit the space, and put much better crosses in to a point where we were actually connecting our crosses, and then put an absolutely deadly ball into Dani Olmo that ended up being our first goal and really finally broke the deadlock that we were having in this match. The kid, even on the days where he's going to get the most criticism or isn't on it, today he really changed that. I mean, seeing him perform again, make that very intelligent, very quick pass to Dani, well done. And then obviously Danny's finished there, but it was great. But I think Lamine, just for the way he turned it around when we needed him to, a solid 8 overall for an off day is incredible, but I think it's probably fair for that pass only. Then our subs came on right after we were struggling a little bit in the first half. We had Dani Olmo come in, and it took a little bit for us to figure it out, for him to get some play, get some time on the ball, and once he did, right around that 60th minute mark, 58th minute, we turned it up. We had some possession, we created some chances. Dani had incredible close control in the box and finished a great chance. Incredible goal by him. It's so unfortunate that he's constantly injured because he could genuinely be the best player in the world, and we'll never know it, but we'll see. He's apparently on some weird health thing that Hansi Flick has been doing with Pedri, and it's helped Pedri, so maybe it'll help Dani Olmo. I have a lot of confidence in the way these guys manage minutes, so it's entirely possible. I hope it happens. I'm praying it does, but we'll see. Great performance by him today. Great help turning the team around defensively as well, and turning into space too. When Las Palmas started pressing up a lot, they were leaving a little bit more space between the midfield and their back line. Dani Olmo was pulling through that incredibly well. Great job from him. I think an 8.5. I'm going to give him a 9. I'm going to give him my man of the match. You could probably share it with Kubarsi and maybe even Pedri as well. You could even throw Lamine in there for that ball. But then Frankie de Jong came in, and I'm going to minus a point because he did get a yellow card before he even got in for yelling at the ref. Shut up, Frankie. I know you're a captain, but you didn't have the armband on, and there was no point in that yellow card. It was a waste. Now you're going to go out for a yellow card accumulation a match before you should, whenever that happens. And that's unfortunate. But I think when he came in, he provided a little bit more energy that we lost when Pedri got a little tired. And he was healthy on the ball. They weren't pressing him at all. Honestly, he wasn't a pressing trigger. They were letting him run around with the ball, do whatever he wanted. And he did. Was good in possession, was healthy, didn't make a mistake. I think a 7.5 is very fair for being solid there, but it's going to turn into a 6.5 for getting that yellow card early, because that's really not something you want to see from someone who is one of the more veteran players on the team. Then my GOAT, Shark Boy, came on. Bro, great goal. Dude, I don't know what else to say. Homie, that was a weird finish on his weak foot, and I thought he was offside, but great ball from Rafinha there. I forgot to give Rafinha a shout for that. That was a really good pass to Ferran Torres. Really well done from the kid. Nothing more to say. I'm proud of him, taking advantage of these minutes, similar to how Firmino's been doing this season. and hopefully he gets more minutes. You know, if Lewandowski keeps being meh, especially in weeks where we're going to have 3 days rest at best, Ferran's going to get more minutes and hopefully score more goals. But I'd obviously love to see Lewandowski just stat pad more, but that might not be happening with how he's been playing recently. We'll see. Great job from Ferran Torres. 8.5, I think, is fair for doing what he needed to do when he was on the pitch. Great finish. It was dirty. Then Gerard Martin came in and did Gerard Martin things. I think it was fine. I don't even know if he touched the ball once. Solid 6. Overall, not a great performance. I think the ref, that penalty call is going to be argued online. Madrid TV is going to blah, blah, blah nonsense. He was offside. It didn't matter. But it could have been a pen. It could have also not been a pen. It landed right here, literally right between the arm and the top of the arm that's covered by the sleeve, which is, the sleeve is supposed to not be a handball. Anything below the sleeve is. It was literally right in the middle. From one angle, it looks more sleeve. From one angle, it looks more arm. Overall, we came out with 3 points in a game where it was a must-win game. Every game in La Liga is from now on. And we won. We came out with 3 points in a very difficult match. Obviously, we lost to Las Palmas in the leg, the away leg, or the home leg earlier this year. So, big dub. Happy about it. You guys should be happy about it too. Visca Barça. Have a good weekend, my guys. And I will see you whenever I post my next video. It should be in a couple days. So, thanks for watching.